Damn, son, I might just steal your bitch. That's on God. I got 2 cups of tea. That's on God. What's up, my dudes? This is the track review of the Marshlands. So as you guys can tell, it's a pretty foggy vibe track we got here. And it may look a little bit more simplistic from the outside, but it's actually a fairly... Woohoo! Motherfucker, right in the middle of a video. So what's interesting about some of these older tracks is they were never meant to have bikes that were this fast on them, you know? So you're going to be hitting some crazy shit whenever you come on these older tracks and you're on a 2016 bike or a 2017 bike. And that's kind of the case with this track right here. Like, a lot of these sections, you can just tell they were never meant to be hit like that. Very unorthodox sections where you'll come around a corner and hit like a... It'll be like a triple, but it was only meant to be a double, you know, stuff like that. Not really sure if Freddy Krueger's been fishing over here or if Michael Myers lives in that cabin, but some shit's going on with these bloodstains over here, bro. I just happened to come across that whenever I was riding over there. I accidentally jumped off of the track. I was riding over there, yeah. That's a good excuse for flying off of the track and damn near killing myself. But so this section right here is actually pretty fun. You can do kind of like a quad, and I think it's like a 5 jump. But what's really cool about it is the way the actual rhythm section jumps are built on this track are pretty different from like a lot of your newer styles of tracks. Oh my god, that endo right there. Almost slayed myself. But I think I had another crazy moment right here too. Oh shit. Look at that. Just like almost absolutely ended it all right there. Could have been a disaster instantaneously, but you know, we can keep it together somewhat here. I say somewhat here, so keep that in mind. But trying to get back on the track, but like just the overall design of it is something you just don't normally see and something that you haven't seen in a long time. It's just got more of like a, it's kind of hard to explain that, but like just the way the jumps are actually built and the way that the smoothness is on some of those older tracks, it definitely makes for some interesting sort of rhythm section opportunities and stuff like that. And like the peakness of some of these landings of these quads and stuff are a lot of fun when you're pretty good at the game. And the corners, the way that they just have a way of like feeling that you're never going to slide over in them, basically. It feels like you could just hit that corner as hard as you wanted to. That's how a lot of these corners feel on this track right here. So it's obviously more of a beginner style track, but it can be pretty difficult. It's one of those tracks that has a weird sort of skill gap to it. It's like it's easy if you're hitting the small lines, but if you're hitting the big lines, it's Pastrana difficulty. You know, it's kind of one of those crazy tracks like that. That was one of those big jumps right there where you gotta launch it. It's one huck motherfuck, dude. It's one of those you can just tell. I mean, the creator of this track never intended for people to be able to hit that right there. You just couldn't hit that on any of those bikes that were out during that time period. They just didn't have enough horsepower, you know, they just didn't have enough torque. It wasn't like you could have hit it farther to the outside and you might still have been able to hit it. Like, no, dude. You can barely do that on these newer bikes, even when you are swinging it all the way to the outside. So I know for a fact you couldn't have done it on the older bikes right there. So, but as far as the off-track stuff, I mean, it's all fairly decent. Even though it's a more older style track, it's I'm pretty impressed with the off track, and having that fog effect in there just like fills everything in. And there's actually a deer stand, if I'm not mistaken, on this track right here. I didn't even know there was a deer stand object in MX Simulator, but apparently there is. So yeah, you dudes want to go mule deer hunting beside the cesspool over there, or what? Oh, check that out, bro. It's like a full-blown deer stand. Oh, that's hilarious. So yeah, this is just one of those old classic tracks that I've never seen before, and I just randomly came across it. A lot of the tracks are on, like, older style tracks are on pure MXS, and I don't even think you can get on that website anymore, so it's pretty gnarly how that is nowadays. But So I actually came in this view earlier, and I was looking at this blood stain right here, and then I saw another blood stain, and then I found myself fucking tracking something here. I was like, what is this? Okay, follow the blood stain, follow the blood stain. Okay, I did not know any of this was here until I got in this viewpoint right here, and I was looking around, and it looks like we got the headless Honda man here, so don't really know what's going on with that, but the blood stain continues, and then it goes all the way around, and then it just goes into this hole over here. So, yeah, apparently, dude was dead, and then he dug himself out because he probably died on the track or something. Maybe I'm making too much lore for this story here. It's probably just a simplistic horror film. You know, he got slayed right here when he was stepping out the back door. Oh, God, now I'm in the house. Okay, hope I don't see any naked chicks. But anyways, let's get back to third person. So, I mean, it's a good track, no joke, for like your mid-range, just getting out of that beginner stage. I mean, you could even call it a beginner style track, but like you're not going to be able to hit some of these really, really big lines. They're just too dangerous. Like this triple in right here and then this quad, it's one of those where you just have to land it perfect and hit your brakes a full blast or you're going to fly off the track, because you were never really meant to get that much speed landing off of that jump. You know what I'm saying? It just, and it's the same way with this jump right here. Whenever you triple this, you know, you were never really meant to hit that, so you're landing on what was meant to be a jump face, and if you don't know how that is, you basically got to land that bitch perfect or you're gonna die. Like, there's no question about that. So, you know, you're kind of like landing on jump faces, like the landings of jump faces and weird stuff like that, but still a fun track nonetheless. And I always have to keep in mind on these tracks, like when they were made and stuff like that, I can't just compare it the same way I would like a brand new track. You just can't do that. It's kind of unfair because everything was different back then, so you just always got to keep that in mind whenever you're reviewing any kind of thing out there. You got to remember when it was made, and you know, that always plays a pretty big part in it. But dude, I was endoing like crazy on that section right there. You got to be a little bit careful with it, but yeah, these corners, they're very tempting because you just want to hit it super hard, but you got to be careful because you'll just go right over the berm because they're so smooth and short. So that's kind of an aspect to it as well, but it's a fun little roller section you can either jump all the way into or you can just kind of hit it like a whoop section. You can see that right there. Oh my God, let me get in that other view real quick. Let me look at that, dude. I just want to see how much airtime I'm getting on that. Oh my gosh. I mean, you can just tell, like, look at that. Oh, my word. I mean, wow. Like, not very much run in. I mean, I guess there's a little bit of run in there, but it's just like, it's one of those jumps where it's just like, whoa, dude. That's a huck right there, regardless, you know. It's pretty cool. It's got some airtime on it, no doubt, and that landing is fucking Pastrana. So, I would say this track right here is probably... It's easy difficulty if you're not hitting the big stuff, but overall it's probably more like medium difficulty if you're actually trying to hit some of these quad sections. And then this right here is that's a 5 right there, dude. I thought it was a quad at first, but that's actually a 5. And so I'm also going to give this track a 9 overall. I know that might seem a little bit extreme for just a track like this, but I love the vibe around it. It's something different. I've never really seen somebody put like basically a Friday the 13th within a motocross track before, so that's kind of cool. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.